I'll unmute myself and we're live. Alrighty, howdy do people. Oh yeah, that's working. Making sure my cabin sounds are working. But what's up, lovely people? We are here for another Wednesday D&D, Lost Mines of Phandelver with the crew. And before we kick off, just got a couple of small things to talk about before we get into it. Obviously, we are getting close to the end of this story. I mean, we're in essentially the last sort of section of Lost Mines of Phandelver. So that means obviously we've got a new campaign to think about. So I've made the decision. Obviously, we're going to be starting or looking at prepping for the new campaign in the next few weeks. Waterdeep Dragon Heist will be the start, obviously leading on into Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage. God's sake, Scrim. Son of a bitch. It's always something. But anyway, we will be doing the Waterdeep Dragon Heist into Dungeon of the Mad Mage. There is a poll available in the Discord. I will talk about it again a little bit later, but there is a poll up in the polls channel in the Discord. If you are interested in play, go vote. Let me know that you're interested. As per usual, I'm looking for 4 to 6 players. At this stage, we're looking at possibly doing it on a Friday night, not a Wednesday, and probably doing it every other Friday, so it'll be twice a month, which hopefully will make it a little bit easier for some people. All that will be discussed with the players that sign up. So even if you don't think you'll be available on a Friday, even though it is there, if you're interested in playing, put your name forward, because the day that it'll be played, we will discuss with the players and get a consensus on what's easiest for them. But at this stage, Friday night seems to be the better option. So when I say Friday night, we'll be looking at roughly 7:30, 8 o'clock New Zealand time, maybe 8:30, depending on what it is, depending on where the players are from. But if we get multiple players from Australia, we could push it out a little bit later, because it doesn't bother me running late, and things like that. It'll be awesome. Obviously, then I have to prep for the module. I've already started with the Dragon Heist prep work. What we'll do is run the Dragon Heist first, then we'll take a break while I prep for Dungeon of the Mad Mage. That should be a bit of fun. Long-term campaign from level 1 to 20 in totality. Obviously, if someone dies, they may need to re-roll a new character, or if they die at the end of the Dragon Heist portion, they will be able to re-roll a new character for the Dungeon of the Mad Mage portion starting at level 5. We'll deal with that when the time comes as well. That's about it for now. We will carry on with tonight's session. These guys are starting to look bored with me prattling on, so we'll kick into the recap for tonight from last week. So, gentlemen, last week we left off. You had made your way through most of the ruins of Thunder Tree with only a few minor skirmishes. You spoke with a group who turned out to be wannabe dragon cultists, who gave you some information that the dwarves that you were possibly looking for had been camping to the north of Thunder Tree. As you proceeded northward, however, the sound of leathery wings was heard circling above, and a young dragon appeared and demanded loyalty or toll. Arcos couldn't help himself, and his attempted humour was lost on the Drake, however, and what eventually happened was they got spewed on by some green toxic stuff, which rendered both Arcos and Who unconscious, and severely hurting Youngblood in the process. Luckily, Grimshaw was able to stave off these effects and was allowed to by the dragon to heal Arcos and Who and bring them back to consciousness. He also gave you some more information about dwarves, that essentially they definitely were in the north, and that they'd headed sort of southeastish. Also, though, by this stage, he demanded payment for you passing through his domain. You eventually gave it up. Youngblood essentially tell him to fuck off or fuck up to some degree. Not really a smart move again. Luckily for Youngblood, it only resulted in bad breath as he got roared on. But it did cost you most of your gold and a few belongings to leave the area alive. Eventually, you headed back to Phandelver, where you spoke to Gundren and explained what had happened, and he once again asked for your help to go into the mine or the Wave Echo cabin to aid his brothers, alive or dead, and with promise of more payment and, of course, a share in the mine if you were able to clear it. So, you headed to the Stonehill Inn. Drink, eat. Some drank more than others, and essentially we'll pick up in the morning as you guys wake from the next day, preparing to head out to the Wave Echo cabin. Unfortunately for Youngblood, the morning is not a welcome sight, as the sun. It's actually quite a nice day for a change. The sun streams through Youngblood's window in the morning, and the sun hits Youngblood in the face, and it's almost instant pain, as the light of the day is not pleasant for someone who's extremely hungover. Obviously, it's not going to really affect you too much, but it may affect your perception for the first hour or so of the day, as you're not happy about being awake, or the fact that it's so bright, or that it's so loud. Every little sound, even the sound of the rats that scurried through your room in the morning is loud, like elephants stomping through your room. It's just an extremely bad headache. As you squint through your hungover eyes, the rest of you start to wake, the other two. You can hear Grimshaw sort of stomping about. So, pretty much, he's an early riser. He's probably the first to head down. All right, you get out of bed. We got work to do. And he stomps on downstairs. So, Arcos, we'll start with you. You've woken. What is the first thoughts for Arcos on this day? Knowing what's coming, what is going through Arcos's mind?
So Arcos wakes up, he collects his gear, cleans it off, and then he thinks, if ever I share an inn with Grimshaw again, I'm going to make sure that I'm in the furthest room away from him, because I don't think I slept very much at all, because he's just so damn loud.
Indeed.
And then I'm going to go down for some coffee, and, wake myself up ready for revenge.
Revenge is on Arcos's mind. Next room we come to is Who, the Owlin cleric of the group. So Who, you wake, you didn't drink that much. You had a little bit to drink, you didn't drink too much. You were feeling pretty good. What is on Who's mind this morning, knowing what's coming?
Not much. Breakfast.
Typical
Breakfast.
owl.
Yes.
Yeah,
Food.
where's the rats and the mice? That's right. No, he eats real food.
Yeah, no. Not partial to rats, thank you very much, but yeah, food.
So, Who wakes and gathers his belongings? As a cleric, does Who have a morning ritual, perhaps a prayer that he gives to his deity before starting each day, or is he just wake and go through a regular routine?
Just a quick one, and then a bit of a clean up, and
cool.
And out I go.
You head downstairs. You join Arcos and Grimshaw, who are sitting at a table getting a pretty good breakfast. Looks like some form of thinly sliced cooked meat. It's definitely not bacon. Looks like bacon. Doesn't smell like bacon. Kind of crispy like bacon, and looks like maybe ostrich, scrambled ostrich eggs. There's like a mountain of scrambled eggs on the plates there, and some coffee. Now, Youngblood, you're a little bit slow to rise this morning. What is Youngblood's routine as he painfully awakes after a night of drinking far too much and a natural 1 on the Constitution check before bed?
I wake up and throw my pillow where I think towards where I think the rats are. Just pissed off. Shut up! I hear Grimshaw. I'm like, fuck. So I get up, get the belongings, try to just be able to see. I still feel a bit drunk. So I'm like,
I'd say you'd probably get up and like you got a wash bowl in your room. You got fresh water and a jug that's been laid out for you, and splash water on your face and try and wake yourself up. As you sort of splash water on your face and you stand up to sort of it's not a mirror, but it's like a polished piece of a round piece of plate on the wall, so it's a mottled look. As you sort of look in the mirror, and even that's painful to look at. It sort of hurts the eyes. Ugh. You notice you're still heavily scarred from the day before. Like even though you've been healed, you were healed magically, and you've had a night's rest as well. So those wounds have started to heal quite nicely. But you were still heavily scarred up the left-hand side of your face from the breath you took from the green dragon. And you think to yourself, yeah, chicks dig scars. I'm good. I mean, a few more scars isn't going to worry you, of course. I mean, you've probably had a few over the years. But eventually you make your way downstairs.
get a coffee.
Are you going to eat, however? Do you think food is something that you would face after with a massive hangover, or just coffee?
I would get food. I love food, so yeah. I'll get food still.
nice greasy, not bacon and eggs for breakfast. What's up, Pesh? So you all make it downstairs back into the inn. Toblin's milling around, organising breakfast for other people that have sort of turned up, and you are preparing yourself for the day. Grimshaw's there. He's sitting there, stuff in his face. Like, he's not a pretty eater either. Like, he's a big dude, but he's definitely not a pretty eater. It's pretty rough. Oh, right. Oh, that was a good breakfast. Are we supposed to meet Gundren at his house again, or is he coming here, or what?
He said the Lion Shield Costa, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because he reckons he could organise supplies and stuff for us, right?
Yeah. You've got a little bit of something here, and it sort of goes on to like,
This wipes his.
Yeah.
Does this and sort of wipes itself down, and a large portion of eggs
How much did you get that in your mouth?
falls on the ground. What was that, young blood?
Looks like you got more on yourself than your mouth, mate.
Oh, I'm full, so I must have got most of it in there.
Fair
I'm
enough.
surprised to see you up and walking straight, mate.
Well, I'm surprised myself.
I'm quietly eating and looking at Youngblood, at the scars on his face. It's just like, hey, Youngblood, I think we're gonna have to give you a new nickname, mate. With the way those scars are bubbling on your face there, we might have to start calling you Bubbles.
Sure.
Sure.
I
I don't like
Bubbles.
I don't think it suits him.
it. No.
Bet Scarface or something like that. Who fucking knows? Do whatever you want.
I knew an exotic dancer called Bubbles once. It's not a good pairing.
Well, I'm a dancer.
Interesting.
True, very true. You are too.
I blacked out there. I don't even remember how long I danced for. I blacked out for a bit. Apparently, as I got up and went for it, I don't remember shit.
Oh well, I suppose we should finish up here and get moving.
Yeah, let's hope that sun doesn't fuck me. Ugh.
Now that'd hurt.
Depends on how you go about it, mate.
True,
Oh,
very
you
true.
mean like All right, I get you.
Bloody hell, you guys. Dirty minded.
Well, it's a pirate's life.
Not you, mate. You're just dirty. I mean, you still got it.
Hey,
Never mind.
save it for later.
Character
Snack.
building. Mm.
You might get hungry later. You might need some. Sort of rubs it into his fur.
I'll have to be literally starving to death, mate. Literally.
I mean, you were almost dead yesterday, so
Yeah.
right, let's go. And he just gets up, waves to Toblin. Go to bed, child.
Okay.
And heads out the door. Do you follow? Well, join him, not follow him.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll walk past Toblin. I'm like, next time I feel like maybe Grimshaw should sleep in the barn. Just a thought. I mean, look at him.
I mean, he's a large fellow, of course, but he pays well. I mean,
Good.
well, you know, the dwarf paid for all of it, but
He's just so loud. I couldn't sleep at all.
Was that-
Did you stay somewhere else?
is
Do you have your
that
own
what, is
house?
that what I heard? Oh my!
Yeah.
I didn't realise that. Oh shite. Maybe maybe we'll look at some form of magical soundproofing or something in the future,
Yeah.
perhaps. Oh, good,
Right.
good
you
day.
coming who?
Yeah. I'm good. Grab the last off my plate. grab like the look-alike bacon of what it is, and I'm walking out the door, shoveling in my gob.
It looked like bacon. Yeah, I say it tasted good,
Yeah.
but that was about it. So you head out. We'll stay on this map, even though it's not really an in map. We'll stay on this one. You head out towards Lion Shield Costa, which is south across the square, and you meet Sildar and Gundren are both waiting for you at the Lion Shield Costa. They both greet you. I need to figure out where my shop is. Where is it? Who was the owner of the Lion Shield Costa now? I gotta remember who it was. Where is she?
It was that guy.
That guy. No, it wasn't that guy.
That was her.
It was her.
Oh, it was her, yeah.
Lenine Greywind, I believe it is, from memory. Yes, the Lion Shield's merchant. So, Lenine Greywind meets you as you move over to the Costa. She knows who you guys are, and she greets Gundren and says, "Well, good morning, Gundren. I suppose I'm supplying your companions once again." I know. It's all right. I'm good for that. Put it on my tab. I'll settle it up at the first of the month, like I do every month. But they're good. They're good fellows, and they need some bits and pieces before we head out. Right, you lot. What do you need? And Grimshaw says, "Well, I think I'm all right. I got some potions and things. I got a couple of little healing potions and a couple of medium ones. Everything else I'm pretty good for. I got rope. I got some torches. I'm good."
Yet no table manners to speak of.
Oi, remember
do you
I'm
have-
bigger than you. I mean, he could probably
healing potions.
punch you across the square. To be fair.
That's never bothered Arcos before in his entire life.
Probably not.
Napoleon complex. He thinks he's bigger than everyone else. Healing. I think we need healing. I mean, that last outing.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, I'm up.
So-
Yeah, I'm up for some healing potions as well.
Let's see what you guys have got here. Right, so we'll start with Arcos. You have on you only one potion of healing on you. You've got torches, you've got rations, got some arrows.
Yeah, I might need some more arrows, maybe.
Potentially.
Not that I use them much.
You got 16 there. You might get you through. Might pay to buy a few more. So if we go. So Gundren says, "Well, I'll cover whatever you need. Not a problem." So if we go into items, so he will cover only a certain amount. So he'll probably cover enough, probably a medium healing potion each, which is the 44 plus 4. And so I'll pop one of those into each of your inventories. So I think you've all got a light healing one already, with the exception
Oh, I used all mine up.
the section of
a
who.
while back.
So we'll give a light and a medium to who. He'll cover those. Who? Gundren walks over to you and says, "Listen here, lad. I've got something special for you. This will definitely help you out later on, perhaps." And he hands you. I'll put it into your inventory. He hands you another potion. This potion is kind of golden in color, like it's sparkling in a golden mist. That when you shake it, it looks like water, but it's kind of viscous at the same time. But he tells you, he knows what it is. He tells you it's a potion. Wrong one. I gave you the wrong one. Damn it. Not that one.
Janet.
This one. Potion of Arcane Recovery. So what this potion will do when you drink it, it'll give you a roll of a D4 plus 2. So you roll a D4 and plus 2, and you will be able to return that amount of spell slots. So how it works is if you get say you roll a 2 and you get, which will give you 4 on the dice, you can either do two second level spell slots or 4 first level spell slots. So it's a spell slot for each number you get. But if you get for second level, it's 2 numbers essentially, and for level 3, it would only be the 1. Because if you rolled a 4 on the dice, a total of 4, you could do 1 level 3 spell slot, 2 level 2s, or 4 level 1s. The choice would be yours. However, there is a caveat for this. You will also have to make a DC 10 con save. If you fail, you become poisoned after drinking it, and you cannot use it again for at least 2 days. It does not work. It only works the once. You basically build up a resistance to it. So you can only use it the one time within 48 hours, but also the con save goes with it. So there is a risk involved. Thank you. But at least it's an opportunity to recover some spell ability if you get caught short. He then turns around
The trade-off's worth it. Definitely worth it.
Turns around to you, Youngblood, and says, I've got something for you as well. Not quite the same as your friend, but this may or may not come in handy. And he gives you a potion of advantage. What that does for you is when you drink this potion, you literally gain more or less a DN's inspiration. So when you drink it for an hour, sometime during that hour, you can choose to give yourself advantage on a skill check, a save, or an attack. So if you know, like if you come up and you think you might fail something or whatever, you just choose after you drink it, sometime in that hour, to give yourself advantage on one of those checks. And he gives to you, Arcos, a a black bottle. Looks like it's got nothing in it. It's almost clear. Like the glass is kind of smoky, but it looks almost clear. And he gives you a potion of invisibility. So when you drink this potion, you become invisible for 1 hour. Anything you're wearing and carry is invisible. The effect ends if you attack or cast a spell. Same as the invisibility. Same as being invisible, the spell.
That's pretty cool, but what flavor is it?
He raises an eyebrow and just gives you a bit of a smirk. Guess you'll find that out when you drink it, won't you?
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll get back to you on it.
Right, so with that, you are presented with these items. You've now got some healing bits and pieces. You were given your weapons and armor a day or two ago. That should hopefully help you in your endeavours moving forward. Gundren turns around and says to Sildar, "Well, old friend, this is where we part ways for now. You stay here and look after the affairs of Phandelver. I'm going to travel with these fine gentlemen, take them to the mine, and let's get my brothers back." And Grimshaw says, "Oh, what, you coming with us then?" "Aye, I am. For a time at least. We'll see what happens. But without me you would never find the place anyway. After all, the map, I no longer have it, but I know where it is. And I know my way through it. Somewhat. It's not too far from here, in fact, less than a day's travel. Now, bear in mind, when we get to the mine, we are not going to be the only ones there, of course. They will be the people you're looking for, as he sort of nods to you, Arcos. But there'll also be other things, perhaps. The mine has lots of secrets. It's been empty for a long time. Lots of death has happened there. So I'm pretty certain it'll be all manner of creatures living inside. So keep your eyes open, your wits about you, and we should all come out of this alive, hopefully, and very rich.
Is Sildar still there?
He's still there.
Yeah. So
He's smart, cunt.
Arcos looks up at Sildar. He's like, "I guess we'll carry our own shopping this time, Jeeves, but keep the house nice, and we'll be back before you know it."
Oi, listen here. I run this town. And I'll take your shit for now, but you and me are gonna have some words if you survive this.
Ah, you love it.
And he gives you a bit of a nod, like, and you get the impression like he's not pissed off. Like he's again, it's almost just trying to keep up appearances for him. He knows he's getting old. But he also knows that you guys are going into a pretty dangerous situation. So he gives you that look like, yeah, whatever, little man. But you also get that impression like it's like, stay safe. He gives you that nod like, be safe. Yeah. And he gives that same sort of look to all of you as he goes back inside the Lion Shield Costa with Linane. All right then, we're ready to go. You're right, young blood. You look a little red around the eyes there. You okay? He's talking to young blood.
Just a bit hungover. Blacked out there for a bit. Had a good time though, apparently.
Well, as long as you're right to do whatever it is you do.
I can smash skeletons too. It's alright.
It's alright then. Alright, let's get going. And he leads you back northward, firstly, and takes you to the stables where he pays for and supplies you all with horses to make this travel much quicker. About a day's walk southeast of Phandelver is where he says the mine entrance is. On horseback, that's gonna halve your travelling time. So you're gonna get there probably early afternoon. The ride is easy without too many hassles. No need for animal handling checks. So you guys would be intelligent enough not to know how to to ride a horse. I believe all of you would have ridden a horse at some stage in your life. Even Youngblood, I would imagine, would have ridden a donkey at least. Maybe a little slow for Youngblood, but Grimshaw kind of they have to give Grimshaw a Clydesdale style horse because he's very tall and very heavy. And you eventually make your way to a portion of the mountains surrounding Phandelver that none of you have been to before. This particular area is quite foreign to you. You start heading into more rocky land, and eventually you get to a point where you have to ditch the horses. You tie the horses up. Gundren sort of gets down and says, "All right, it's on foot from here. Again, watch your step. You don't want you to break your ankles before you get into a fight. Probably another hour from here before we find the entrance, and we should be good." And you press forward. Eventually, we will. One thing I didn't do. Turn his on. Here we go. So eventually, you guys find yourself in the entrance of, after climbing down a few rocks and bits and pieces, you find yourself inside a darkened cavern. Grimshaw lights a torch. The entrance tunnel is not narrow, it's about 10 feet wide, containing several stalagmites and stalactites hanging from the ceiling. Definitely a natural cavern. The one thing that really stands out almost immediately is you can hear the ocean. So you think, hang, especially you, Arcos, and Grimshaw probably thinks the same. It's like, we're not near the ocean. We're like inland. Hey, Arcos, you hear that?
I do, mate.
Doesn't make no sense.
No, it's like, listen, you know how sometimes you pick up a shell and you'd listen to it and you think you could hear the sea, but it was actually like the blood pumping in your head and it sounds like the ocean? This definitely sounds more like the ocean than that.
Gundren sort of steps forward and says, "Hey, I mean, I'm not entirely sure, but on the map that I had, there was a large body of water, like deep in the mine. Comes from a natural hot spring, from what I understand. And it sounds like the ocean, sounds like waves as it surges forward, hitting the rocks. So it echoes through the entire cavern."
So this is the place then?
Aye, it is.
And it's been missing for how long? It's only a few... It's not that far from town. How'd you lose it?
I didn't lose it. I mean, it's been lost for a long time until the map resurfaced. It took me and my brothers several months to excavate the entrance, indeed. So, I mean, we only found it because of the map. It was well hidden. Almost like it had been collapsed on purpose.
You land people, you always have trouble finding stuff. Out in the sea, you know? Always finding stuff, always.
Well, that's why we're here, to find stuff, as you say. If we can clear out this mine, we can find all sorts of valuable stuff. It'll make us all very rich men. As I said though, watch your step. This is my how you say, this is my natural habitat. I'm comfortable down here. I feel at home down here. I'm not the rest of you. As you say, you're from the sea. This is all going to feel foreign. You won't know what you're looking for, so be careful. You never know what is going to be done here. So with that, he pushes forward past you guys. Not pushingly, but steps forward and says, right, off we go.
Well, fellas, this might be it.
And he sets off, moving forward up the passageway. And again, like I said, it's a narrow passage, maybe 10 feet wide, sometimes widening out to maybe 12 feet or so. It's only about 10 or so feet tall at places. So even you see Grimshaw sort of having to almost bend in certain places as some of the stalactites that are hanging from the ceiling get a little bit low for him. And you move forward. Eventually, you come to a large opening. Those you're not supposed to be able to see. We'll just remove those. I forgot to make them invisible. But nothing bad, so don't worry.
Invisible.
Invisible. So eventually you break out into this large sort of cavern area. So the entrance tunnel leads into a large cavern supported by a natural large pillar here. It goes right to the ceiling. And there's 3 stalagmites sort of located around the place as well. As you can sort of see bits and pieces. You do spy as you move around the corner, and the far side of the room looks like a camp of sort. There's a few sacks, looks like a bedroll or two, a campfire that's long burnt out, and looks like there might be a body there as well. Gundren sort of gasps audibly, and he rushes forward right to the camp. Oh no! Gundren, he is visibly distraught, as lying next to one of the bedrolls is a corpse. And it's the corpse of a dwarf. It's very clear to see that this is a dwarven body. And he sort of bends down and sort of picks up the corpse's head, sort of rolls him over, and he doesn't sob, but you can see tears welling up in his eyes a little bit. He looks up at you and he goes, "This is Starden, Rockseeker. This is one of my brothers." And as you're looking sort of down at him, you can see the wound across his neck. His throat has been cut. He's definitely died violently. So that can only mean that Nondaro's here somewhere still, possibly. Alive, dead. And he sort of almost retreats into himself a little bit. Lays his brother back down, grabs one of the bedrolls and covers him up, and starts sort of going through the packs and bits and pieces. he looks over at you guys and says, have a look around, see if there's anything else that we could use. Perhaps.
Yeah. He must have brought them here from Thunder Tree. They surely couldn't have gone anywhere else in between for him to be here now.
I'm not sure how long he's been here like this. A while. As you can see, the blood around the neck is thick and congealed. It's definitely been some time since his death. So as you sort of look around, I'll get you all. When I do this. I'll get you all to roll a perception roll for me. Geez, Arcos with a natural 20. Grimshaw's not really seeing a hell of a lot. He's you can see him sort of standing there just with his head up listening, like he seems to be fascinated by the sound of the ocean that can be heard. As the rest of you sort of look around, and you notice obviously it's an open cabin. To the east here you can see there's a substantial drops into a pit below. Around one of the stalactites is a rope that's been tied off and is dangling down the side. Apart from that, there's not much else here. It looks like the dwarves' gear, or whatever gear is here, has been fairly well picked through. There's not a lot left. A few tools, like there's a sack of flour that's now, you can see it's crawling with weevils. None of it's really usable. As so you can see, Gundren's visibly, he's dealing with his brother. He's wrapping him up, and it's sort of almost like he's knelt over him, almost saying the prayer. You can hear him speaking. None of you speak Dwarvish, do you?
I think I do.
You speak Dwarvish?
I speak a couple of languages.
I'll check.
I was going to say, who does speak
Goblin,
a few languages?
Common, Elvish,
Oh, you
and
do speak
Dwarvish.
Dwarvish, yeah. So it's in Dwarvish. You understand it, and you'd understand it as a prayer for the dead. It's the words that he's using very much like it's almost like the Lord's Prayer, but a Dwarvish version of it, and he's just saying words of a prayer of death for his brother.
I'll just quietly repeat it next to him so that he knows that I understand what's going on.
Okay. And essentially, it's along the lines of Thardan, my brother, may you rest in the arms of the All-Father, for want of a better term. Like there's obviously a deity that they worship, and he is sending him there, more or less.
Just doing it, as a comforting sort of thing, to know.
Yep, no
yeah,
worries.
Blood would kneel and in a praying stance too.
Okay, cool. With that, he finishes and sort of stands up and says, if you don't mind, I think I'll wait here and deal with Thardan's body. I'll join you later. I should be able to find you easily enough with this. And he hands you Arcos a stone. I don't know that you've seen one of these before, but he has one similar, and he hands one part to you. He says, just if you need to contact me, just speak into the stone. 25 words or so it will store, and it will send it to this stone. So if I need to find you, I will. But if you need me, just Use the stone and I'll try and track you down. I need to deal with this. I mean, I need to find my other brother as well, but I can't leave him here like this.
Yeah. And Arcos puts his hand on Gundren's shoulder and he's like, it's obvious even to me that he was killed by, not by a creature, but by men and elves and whatever this black spider is. And they've taken my brothers too, maybe not in blood, but in spirit. You have my word. Each and every one of them will pay.
Aye. As soon as I'm able, I'll try and rejoin you. I may not look like much, but I know how to fight. And I will avenge my brother's death, one way or another. If that means through you, paying you to do so, and so be it.
Let you know if we find Nundro.
And that was not just addressed specifically to you, Arcos. At that point, he sort of stood up and was addressing all of you, knowing that you're all in it together. And once again, he just reiterates: watch your step, here in the mine. Careful where you go, what you touch. I don't know what else is down here. And even Grimshaw, as much as Grimshaw seems to be a little simple-minded at times, even you can sort of tell even he's taking notice. Like a seriousness has sort of come over him as well, which is not really been overly evident unless he's been in the midst of battle with you guys previously. He always seemed a little sort of simple and a little I'm not sure what the term is, but just not serious, like just kind of not really taking things in. But at the moment he has a completely sort of different look over his face, and it would be something you probably have seen before, Arcos, on your ship. It's almost like the calm before the battle, like you're about to board another ship or a ship is about to board you and you're preparing for that. It's that kind of calm and sort of stoicness coming over Grimshaw right now. And he sort of stands up and just nods. He doesn't say anything. So with that, Gundren moves back over to his brother's body and continues prepping the body, leaving you to your devices. He did say throughout that, he sort of said that that leads into the mine, as he points over to where the rope is.
Well, fellas, ready to keep going?
Yeah, about time we do this.
Yeah.
So, as you move forward, I'll better move Grimshaw forward. He's got the light.
So how far down is it into there?
It's about 15-20 feet, so it's a fair drop. But like I said, there is a rope there. So
it's a glide. For me, it's a glide.
It would be easily enough. You guys won't be able to move down there yourselves because I've got a wall there, but I can move you as we go forward. So I will need from each of you. So who's going to go first?
Arcos will go first because he's the lightest, just to see if the rope will take.
Okay,
Even
so
I'm
you're just going to glide down?
I'm just basically.
Yeah. I'll wait until who's at the bottom if he's going to go
Stretch my wings off the edge there and gently glide down into the abyss.
I will put you at the bottom since yours will not require a check.
You sir?
So Arcos, you obviously move to the edge, and I'm going to need from you, good sir, we're going to need a strength check from you as you take hold of the rope and descend your way down. It's not a high DC because you got the rope. If it was without the rope, it would be much higher. But the rope was already there for you. You did okay. More than
Ooh.
okay. The rope is a strong rope. It's not old and tattered. It looks like it's been put here recently. It's been well tied, and you on the rope, and you're used to being on a rope anyway. You're used to climbing the rigging on a ship. This is nothing new to you, which is why your DC would have been lower. So you down, and you just shimmy down the rope like it's nothing, and you meet who down the bottom.
The rope's good and strong. Just mind your feet.
Grimshaw looked way smaller than he should.
I know. It's just
I'm just increasing his size. He looks so small.
Gundren was bigger than he.
I know. I just noticed that. It's like, holy crap, he looks so small. So yeah, don't move too much around in there, Who, because you might disappear if you hit the wrong spot. So with that,
Let's just move it forward a little bit out of the way.
Grimshaw says to you, Youngblood, all right, are you ready? You want to go next?
Yeah, I'll go next.
So with you, Youngblood, I also need to get a strength check from you. That's pretty good too. You were able to scuttle down that rope, and you're quite tall anyway, so it probably only took you 2 or 3 steps compared to Arcos, probably half a dozen sort of down the sort of wall. And Grimshaw as well, making his check as he scoots down, and he does alright as well. I'll pop him down and we'll move him over there. So you've all made your way down this little slipway. Now what you see in this pit at either end is looks like a crawl space or a tunnel of sorts. So you got one at each end of this cabin. They both are not very big. Grimshaw will get through, but it'll be a bit of a struggle because they're very narrow and but doable. Grimshaw sort of looks around, waves the torch around, and goes, "Well, looks like we've got a couple of choices."
6 of one, half dozen the other.
No, only 2.
Yeah, either way.
Well, we'll have to pick one way. It can't be both.
So which way you thinking?
Divino.
Well, if my ears don't deceive me, I feel like the sound of the ocean's coming from that way. And he points to the side closest to him, because even if the ocean's not coming from that side, yeah.
Oh, so, okay, so you, this side here.
Yeah.
Grimshaw says the complete opposite because he's closer to the other tunnel, and he goes,
Yeah.
"You sure?"
Because in a cave, it wouldn't matter.
It really sounds like it's coming from like this way. Kind of hard to tell. Well, I mean,
Flip a coin. Flip a coin.
well, I got a coin, and
This point, yeah.
so what is it? Heads we go Arcos's way, and tails we go the other way.
Sounds good.
That would be heads. So it looks like we're going this way.
Yep. Up we go.
Let's hope the coin did it right, eh?
Yeah.
So with that, Grimshaw sort of moves forward, and he's holding the torch. So he hops himself off to one side and says, "Well, I got the light this side. Who's going first?"
Do we do smallest to biggest? Would that be the easiest way here? Or
Either me or Arcos, I think, with a
Either way,
smallest fellas, isn't he?
even Arcos is probably. I mean, he'd probably be able to sort of scoot down and walk through. The rest of us are going to have to crawl through on hands and knees.
All right, I'll go first. But if we die horribly this way, Grimshaw, I'll never let you hear the end of it.
It wasn't me, it was the coin. I mean, fate guides us to where we need to go.
Look, I told you, I'm a man of the sea. I've seen dodgy coins before, right? If we die horribly,
It was your coin. I stole it from you last night. So if we die horribly, it's your fault.
take my coins off me, you big O.
You left it on the table. I mean, I picked it up.
I think one of us is going to die horribly this way for sure. Keep that shit up.
I'm a pirate. What do you want?
Just follow me into a hole, you buffoon. In a hole.
You should be able to move forward right onto that.
I'll follow.
If you can't, let me know. I'll push you forward a bit more. Here we go.
I saw the light. Oh. And now I'm in darkness.
Yes, you will be. So, Youngblood, you can move up there as well, and you'll be teleported forward, as will the
Okay, now
lights.
you can't see. You got no night vision, haven't you?
You should be able to see
Arcos.
now because the light from...
Yeah.
No.
Oh, now I can see. Yep.
Yeah, I'll move them out so you can actually see what's going on.
It was pitch black, like Mountain Dew.
It would have been. Yes, because Arcos and
well-
Youngblood cannot see in the dark, but Grimshaw has a torch lit. So you, pretty much where you find yourselves now, when I move this down for the viewers at home, you find yourself in a narrow cavern. And this really does look like miners' tunnels. Like it's intersecting passages, there's beams running across the top. You sort of look around behind you there, you see obviously some sort of cave-in, almost a natural cavern running off this machined edge, because the machined part, or the man-made part, is held up by beams and pillars and such. So lots of intersecting passages. They're only about 6 foot tall, so Grimshaw's kind of hunkered down. He's 6'2", 6'3". He's kind of tall, so he's kind of sort of hunched over a little bit to fit in these passages. Because remember, this mine potentially was probably made by dwarves. So there's not very many 6 foot high dwarves out there. So they made it for them. So it's a little claustrophobic for those of you that are a little taller. So I think Youngblood's quite tall too, isn't he? I think he's about 5'10"-ish, between 5'10" 6 foot from memory.
Yeah, I think it's near 6 foot.
Yeah. So it'll be a little bit of a mission for you as well. So bear that in mind, that these passages, you won't be able to take flight in here. The ceilings are way too low. But it's wide enough to stand in, as you are at the moment. So I'll hand it back over to you, as you're now in this open passageway. I can still hear the ocean.
Who in the right mind would want to stay down here for a living?
Dwarves.
I mean, this is bullshit.
What we're talking about, dwarves, really, aren't we? I mean, don't they all live underground? I mean, there's some that even live deeper underground. Have you heard of them dark-skinned dwarves? We come across a couple a few years ago when I was sailing. I can't remember what they're called, like Dugar or something. But like they're real dark, or something like that. I can't remember. But they live even further underground than regular dwarves. I don't get it.
Just absolutely mental.
I know, right? Well, all right, which way? I'll leave it up to you, since you don't trust my coin.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't trust your coin.
Yeah. Mine. Come on.
And he flicks the coin at you, and it's a pirate coin. It's probably one you've been carrying for a little while.
Well, that way there looks to have had a bit of an accident.
Well, hang on a moment. I'll have a little bit of a scout. I can't really see much with this torch. He sort of walks down this way a little bit, and you go, oh, there's a passageway this way. That way is kind of blocked. Down, we got this passageway here. Oh, and another one. Oh, no, that's blocked too. This way is kind of no good. It's all caved in. So we got two options again. We got this one, and we got that one. I can flip a coin again. I mean, this will be my coin this time, but.
Well, gentlemen, leave it to luck, or make a decision.
Luck's been on our side, so hasn't steered us wrong yet.
Yeah, all right.
So we're gonna leave
Flip
it.
a coin,
Gonna leave it
and
to
I'll
the fates.
Arcus is like checking his pockets to make sure.
So chat,
Just
we're gonna
make sure it ain't got two tails or two heads. It's gonna be
heads or tails, chat.
There,
first one to put it in the chat. Heads or tails. So we'll go heads. Take this passage, and tails will take this passage. Heads or tails? Trash, not odds evens. Nutty goes. Nutty's got heads. Okay, flipping the coin. Tails this time. So it looks like we're going this way. Fucking trash with odds and evens. Alright, it was tails. So I guess we follow the bunny with the tail.
So fate's on our side again, then, eh?
Yes, Zanka steps out and stabs you in the back.
Sounds about right.
He's been sleeping in the mines.
So Grimshaw again moves forward with the torchlight and starts heading in that general direction. Says, ooh, we got another. We got another way to go. Like, there's a long passage down here. Looks like there's several ways to go. In fact,
That's what I like about the ocean. You can go any way. It's like it's big and open, and you never know what you'll find. Here, it's like tunnels and dark, and it smells a little bit.
it does smell like almost like rotten feet. I thought it was just me, but I don't think it is. I don't have feet per se.
I think dwarves generally smell like feet.
Look, yeah.
Maybe this is why.
Smell feet, maybe we follow the smell, then maybe that's where people are going.
I don't. Well, I mean, maybe.
Could have a point.
All right. Well, point me in the direction you wish me to go, and I will take torch in that said direction.
Young Bell starts sniffing to see if he can find out what way the fucking.
Okay.
fingers-
Well, let's make a sniff check.
Sniff test.
Sniff test. Perception roll from Youngblood using smell. So it's just a perception check. What are you smelling for the dirty feet smell?
Smelling for stinky feet.
Smelling for stinky. It's right. It's with a 10. Unfortunately, it smells like it's coming from everywhere. Like the whole place just has a damp, musty, kind of oniony smell to it.
That didn't work. It smells everywhere. Fuck it.
Did you ever think it might be just you? I mean, you were pretty. Did you even bathe last night? I mean, you were pretty drunk. Did you?
I didn't have time to bathe. I got slammed into a
We
bed,
just
woke up,
well,
ready
look,
to go.
we just got him to the end of the bed and we just give him a shove, and he just
And you woke up fucking bossing us around, so I didn't have time, mate.
Young blood doesn't smell like feet. He smells like disappointment and stale booze.
I mean, you do smell like ale, like 10-day-old ale.
They
And
reckon we go
flayed
to this fucking
skin.
warm
Oh,
shower. No
I mean
shower.
that scar, dude. I mean, wow. maybe, I mean, it's kind of Arcos's fault when you think about it, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But it's gonna get the chicks. You watch him get rich, get some chicks with this. It's gonna be fine.
I know, and then you can reimburse me. See, it's perfect.
All right, which way are we going? I mean, we probably shouldn't be this loud when we're trying to find someone to kill. I mean, to be fair.
True. Let's go right. It's hard to tell. This is right, in the dark.
Right. This way.
Yeah, when you say that, this is right in the dark. I'm going to cast light on his belt buckle.
Okay, I can do that. You cast it on him, and I can actually make him light up like a Christmas tree.
You trying to get fresh with me, Feathers? After all this time.
Oh, why won't it?
It's all good. You don't need to keep recasting it. I've got to do it.
I did cast it?
Yep, you've cast it like
damn.
4 times now.
Sorry. Because I didn't see it come up in the feed.
It's
He's
come up.
just super keen.
Here we go.
Sorry about that.
So as that, you light up like a Christmas tree.
Oh
from,
yeah.
From the belt buckle. I will turn the torch
It's on your
off.
belt buckle, not in your face like we did the blue boy.
Yeah.
You want
So,
to
yes.
touch him on the nose? And
So pretty much you now have a light beaming from your belt buckle, and I'd say probably the entire belt just lit up like a Christmas tree. So you're now a walking beacon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we could see now, but I'm not sneaking up on anyone like this unless I take my belt off. But then my pants, like, they don't stay up very well. All right.
All right, we're following you. We're following the bright bunny then.
And even though I'm lit up like a Christmas tree, I still like take it slow.
Okay, this one up here splits to my left, splits into 2 at the end.
Yeah, this is an eerie place.
A hairy place.
No, eerie. I mean, I know I speak weird, but like as in creepy.
Oh yeah, no, I don't like it.
Right, I'll get yours to hold there for a second. Get a group perception check. $15 from Grimshaw. We got a 10 from Youngblood. 6 from Arcos.
Can't see shit with this light on my crotch.
13. For the group check, who's the highest? Grimshaw. Grimshaw sort of says, hold up, stop. Shh, listen. And you stop. And it's kind of weird. You hear, obviously you're hearing the sound of the ocean, obviously. But you hear almost like a sound of water dripping, like close by. Like, but it's not water. It's it sounds thicker than water. What is that? I heard it a little while ago, and it was coming from behind me, and now it's kind of like over there, and he sort of points to almost to the wall where he's standing. It sounds like it's coming from like over there. He sort of looks around and he can't see anything. Can you guys see anything or hear anything?
Can't see anything.
No, can't see.
Where you're standing, you hear that sound quite clearly coming from this direction.
Sounds all squishy.
And then you notice on the ground here, right by the corner of this sort of turn, is a small puddle. It's definitely not water. It's kind of yellowy in color. It's weird. Like it's Not that kind of yellow either, Mr. Grim. I can see you giggling in the camera. A viscous, almost slimy liquid. Just a small patch. And then when you hear that sound again, it sucks into the wall and disappears.
Did you see that? There's a yellow patch of stuff on the ground there, but then the wall sucked it in.
The wall sucked it in.
Yeah, it just made this sound and the wall just gone, was sucked it in.
Oh, I don't want to get sucked into the wall.
Arcos, as you're talking about this, you hear that same sound, and as you turn to sort of look in this direction, right here on the wall, you see another small patch of this viscous type liquid, and as you hear that sound again, literally the wall almost absorbs it, just sucks in and disappears.
Arcos starts to stand in the middle of the room. In the middle of the wall. He's like, I'm not touching the walls anymore.
The sound comes again, this time from behind you over here. And it's like, you're all sort of going, what the fuck? And slowly out of the wall in front of you, the liquid just starts to seep out of the wall and starts to grow and form a shape. And it makes that same sort of viscousy sound as it sort of plops out onto the wall in this large sort of bubbling shape. And it just sits there for a time, like for a few moments, looking. And then it moves. Slowly, not towards you, but it just slowly rotates. And you can see what looks to be almost an appendage, a couple of appendages that sort of moves itself and almost looks like arms, and it forms into almost a humanoid shape, and then sort of twists one part of its, what would be a head, sideways, almost like a dog does looking at you.
Oh, almost looks like the eggs you dribbled down your top this morning, Grimshaw. It's come to life.
What are you talking about? And he sort of moves himself up to a position where you can see it. He goes, oh, shit, that's not good. Well, it doesn't smell good either. And you get a real, almost sulfuric smell from it. It smells like someone just farted.
It's starting to miss the smell of feet.
You're not sure exactly what it's doing. It's not really doing anything at the moment. But you hear that noise again. Where you heard it the first time. And another one appears behind you.
Oh, crap. It's another squishy, guys.
Maybe if we ignore it, they'll leave us alone. I mean, they haven't done anything.
No, we could go back to that other entrance. Back down the passageway there and...
Not.
It's definitely a couple of ways to go if we go backwards and just leave these guys here.
Yeah. They don't look very stabbable.
yeah.
I mean...
But I don't want to attack them because they're not doing anything at the moment.
Yeah, that's a fair call.
The one to the north moves slowly, but in your general direction, Who?
Alright, let's back out of here. And don't touch the walls just in case.
Yeah, don't want to be
I
sucked
agree,
into
let's
a
get
wall.
out of here.
As you turn to move backwards, you hear that same sound coming from behind you.
Ah, shit beans.
And one fills the
Oh, well.
passage behind you.
Which
more
one
or
are we
less
shooting at
blocking,
first, guys?
more or less blocking your retreat. It seems.
Ah.
What about down here? I'll just run down there.
You just gotta run. You just gotta take off. So you take off.
Not too far.
Round
Not
the
too
corner.
Far, just up near the passage.
Yeah,
To see if
see,
they're
I mean, you
following.
can still see the light. You can see Grimshaw. Grimshaw can see you with the light spilling out, sort of just. And he sort of looks around. He goes, "Oh, well, I guess we're having a fight then."
Now,
Let's pick one and kill it. If we split up, we're dead.
yeah, where'd the kid go?
He's down
Oh, you
here.
always gotta keep
He's
your eyes on kids.
He
Oh,
he's
leaked
over.
it.
He's over here around the corner.
Just trying to get away. We're gonna fight these fuckers. They're slime. Can't stab them or nothing. Okay, I'm coming back. Fucking hell.
So we
No,
will
come
get an initiative roll from everybody.
no, I'd rather have a sausage roll.
Yeah, same here.
Yep, so we get everyone to roll your initiatives. And then we're going to take a short break
Nuts.
before we get into this combat. So now, better roll for Grimshaw.
This new sheet, man, throws me for a loop every time I switch around.
Your initiative on your sheet is right on the right-hand side of the sheet.
There it is. Yep.
And just click on the word. There we go. Right, so we are going to pause it there, ladies and germs. We're going to take a short break. We are just over an hour in. We're only going to run for maybe another hour or so. And we're going to return with a slimy combat. So bear with us. Don't go anywhere. Glad to have everyone in. Good to see Pesci in there. Trash, good to see you, buddy. Hopefully we'll see you back in the D&D seat at some point in the future. But we'll be right back. And Nutty. Well, I thought you were going to bed. BRB.
Squishies.
Well, I'm back, chat. Mr. Aerocode is here as well, so we're going to have a quick chat with you guys before the rest of these fellas return.
I'm only kind of here.
Kind of here, it's all good. So welcome on, everybody. Obviously, my name's Evildoer. Pesci, good to see you, buddy. Everyone else that's here as well. As I said, guys, we are nearing the end of our Lost Mines adventure. We're in the Waybico Cavern. It's kind of, we were at maybe a couple more sessions, depending on what happens. I mean, this may end right here, who knows. But I have made a decision on the next campaign I'm going to run, which is going to be Waterdeep Dragon Heist, leading into Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which is going to be a long-term campaign, level 1 to 20, in the D&D 5e rule set. So in the Discord, if you are a member of the Discord and you do want to play D&D, put your name down in the poll. There is a poll in the poll section of the Discord calling for players for Waterdeep. At this stage, I'm looking at running it on a Friday night every second week. So it'll be twice a month we'll be running it. Obviously, try and find a time frame that best suits all of the players. Looking at 4 to 6 players and go from there. Once I've got enough players, obviously, if we get over this 4 or 6 that I'm looking for, we'll put everyone's name into a roll table, and we'll pick our 6 based on that, and go from there. Once it's all sorted and I've got maps organised, which I'm currently making maps for Dungeon Heist at the Dragon Heist at the moment, and then obviously we'll need to take a break at the end of that so I can work on maps for Dungeon of the Mad Mage, because I will be recreating all of the maps for these modules myself in Dungeon Draft. If you come and hang out with me on a Monday, you'll see me in the process of doing that, which is a lot of fun. We just completed the Mist Shore map this week, and coming up in the next couple of weeks, I'll be working on the Xanathar's hideout, which is a pretty big map to build, but we'll get that done. So there will be a bit of prep time once we finish Lost Mines. I'm probably going to take 4 to 6 weeks between this module and that module, so I can get ahead on the maps, so we'll make sure I've got plenty of time to complete those maps before we move into the module. But it should be a bit of fun. Definitely looking forward to that. So are we back, gentlemen? We're ready to go. So, with that in mind, we're going to shoot over to, we're going to stay on here because we can't see that. I can show you guys in the chat the initiative order up there. We're going to begin our combat. So the first creature, the first creature in the combat is one of these jelly-like figures, this one here, and it slowly moves forward. Now let's see, what's it move? They don't move very quickly at all. In fact, literally moves forward right to there, pretty much next to you, who, as it sort of slithers forward and reaches out a little arm there, missing you, however. You're able to dodge the attack, and I rolled that without, I was supposed to roll it out in front, but anywho. So luckily for you, oh, that was public, cool. You are able to move quickly enough where it is unable to strike you. As I said, moves very slow. Got to start the battle music. Next up, Youngblood. It is your turn with Arcos on board.
So, from where I am, I'll get my whip out and whip it just to get a feel
Whip
of
it
what
good.
would happen.
No worries.
I just want to see what would happen if I, with a strike, before getting close to it.
Okay, so target it and whip it.
Target, always do. Whip it real good.
Whip it good. You miss. No, you hit. You do hit it with a 6 as you whip it good. Let it. Why is that not calculating the damage? Apply my damage, god damn it.
Yeah, this was more of a see what happened to the whip that sucked into where.
Okay, it's not working, so I have to do it this way.
Attack, if that makes sense.
As you attack it, it takes the damage. Let's see, look at the resistance and stuff. No, you're good. It takes the damage. It doesn't really do a hell of a lot. It kind of slurps and sloshes as you strike it.
And it will kind of just hide a little tiny bit in here.
No
Not
worries.
too far in, just about there.
Not a problem. Is that your turn?
Yes.
Arcos, you're up.
Oh shit! Where do you stab this thing? I sort of stand next to Who, and I sort of get my swords out, and I'm like, sort of just get in, almost like I'm trying to like lift it up and put it back in the wall or something. Like, I don't know what to do with this fucking thing. Didn't know I was going to be fighting Jelly today.
Natural 20. Look at that. Doing 13 points of damage. See, that one worked. I don't know why the other one didn't work. It was weird. But yeah, you reach out with your sword and you sort of poke into it and you bury it to the hilt, and it sort of, you hear it going as you sort of cut a chunk off and it falls onto the floor, and it sort of quivers on the floor, and it's still moving even though it's no longer attached.
Yeah. And sneak attack damage.
You do get sneak attack, indeed. Another 7 points of damage.
And then
Good
offhand.
damage. As you draw your offhand back to attack, however, this thing sort of quivers and makes a weird sound. I'm going to disappear that one, and we're going to reappear. It splits into two.
Oh my god, it's had babies.
Oh, shit. It's supposed to be together. They're still side by side, however, but they split into two pieces. And sort of about half the size of what it just was. As you reach down and attack, you can now target the same one in front of you and attack with your offhand attack. Hits it. Doing 6 points of damage. And again, a large chunk of it sort of splooshes off to the side and sort of quivers on the ground. Is that your turn?
I'll just go bleh, and then I'll just stay there.
No worries. Grimshaw's turn. Grimshaw's sort of looking at what's going on. He's going, "Oh, that's gross. Well, but I suppose it's something to kill." And he turns and sort of heads into this one here. He's looking at it and he's going, he's sort of thinking to himself, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And he goes, oh no, he's just going to attack it. So he's going to target that one, and he's going to attack it with his great axe. Why is it saying he's 10 feet away? Oh, it's because I made him bigger. I put him right next to it. Here we go. Which he does hit. And does 5 points of damage. That one really doesn't like to take damage. I don't know why that is. I'll do it manually. All good. So that one also goes bloop and splits into two smaller ones. And Grim sort of goes, What the hell? What? This one's doing it too. And he takes his second attack and tries to smush. Oh shit! I deleted it. Dumbass. Target, not delete. And tries to smush this one as well with a second attack with a 21 to hit. Does maximum damage 15, killing this jelly. I don't know why it's not doing what it's supposed to do, but it's dead. I'll just remove it. I got one! Well, half of it anyway. And that is his turn. Who? It's now your turn.
Target that one there, and I'm going to use... where are we? Toll of the Dead.
No problem. Toll you're dead. Got a wisdom save to make. Why didn't... Oh, there it is. And it failed. With a 3. And it's already taken damage, so it's going to take 9 points of damage. Why is that? That one disappears too. That one dies as radiant energy, well, the necrotic energy, sorry, that is released from Toll of the Dead seeps through it. It sort of goes and almost pops like a pimple would. It just sort of bloops and splatters everywhere, and then sort of slowly dissipates into the cracks of the cave floor.
Okay, so before this one gets any closer to me, I'm going to back off into the passageway a little bit.
Yep. You got
but still close enough to Arcos, but I'll get him facing the right way because I want him facing the passageway. There we go.
No worries, done. Next up is this one's turn as it moves forward. Can only go that far. Doesn't have reach, unfortunately. So it pretty much just bloops forward and stays there. Back to the top, Youngblood. It is your turn.
Seeing that they can split, I'll keep using my whip because I noticed the whip didn't split them.
No worries.
So I'll pop back out and attack the one in front of the ball. I can't remember his name.
Grimshaw, or Shaw.
Sure, that's it.
Call him Grim or Grimshaw?
And
Or Shaw.
Peel.
15. Dirty 20 hits, 7 points of damage on this one. Is that enough to kill it? Not quite. I think I know
Seeing
what's
that
caused
don't
it.
really do much. I'll stay out on your turn there.
No worries. Yeah, you whip it out. It doesn't. The whip cracks as it strikes it, sending bits of it everywhere. And it's definitely taking damage, but it's not really doing much else. So that's your turn. Back to Arcos. As this larger one starts slowly moving towards you. And I mean slowly. Like, by your standards, these things are like at half walking pace.
Big one, small one, big one, big one, big one. I target myself and I kill myself. No. Right. I think I need to move a bit, don't I? Is it?
You might have to go a little closer, yeah, because they are quite big.
Yeah. I said, get it.
I mean, I can bring it down to where it's supposed to be, actually. Makes it a little bit easier to see.
Deep.
Natural one.
Natural one.
That'll give you an inspiration as well, so you get a advantage at some point.
Feel super inspired.
I'd say when you get these inspirations, you got to use them on your next check or save or attack roll. So your next attack roll will be at advantage if you want it.
Alright.
We'll make it that way. That way they get used.
Alright, well I will do my my bonus action attack advantage please work? Hold down A. Click at the thing.
Look, it worked. Yay! So that was almost
Hey.
another natural one.
It was nearly.
Definitely hit it with a 9. A 9. It definitely takes its damage.
Take
As you
some of that
slash
too.
into it, and you get sneak attack, another 4 points of damage. This one also now splits in 2. And there's now 2 of them side by side. I am going to reduce their size because it makes it nice and easy to show you that they're half the size of what they normally are. But you only need to get that close to attack them. Maybe a little too small. But yes, it split again right in front of you as you damage that last sort of sword strike, and it just drops in half, and then you see both halves sort of wiggle and reform.
All right, fellas, let me get out of your way, and I'll target myself again because that's what I do.
That's what you do.
I'll go over here.
And with your ability as a little frickin' Herringon, you get to run away without an opportunity attack, being a little rogue that you are. And that is your turn. It is now Grimshaw's turn. He's going, fucking little slimy fuck, and he attacks with a natural 20. Holy crap. Natural 20 from Grimshaw, dealing 24 points of damage. That thing is dead. Like dead. And it disappears. And he sort of turns, goes, well, that was kind of too easy. Any more left? And
Yeah, we've got 3 up here.
He kind of scoots forward. Actually, he could probably go right through and come right down to here. Whoopsie, too far.
He's wearing a slime as a hat.
And he is going to attack this one with his second attack. Which hits also, dealing 17 points of damage. Oh no, only 5. 17 to hit. I was a bit premature. Which does that much damage. And he goes, I think this one's almost dead, maybe. I'm not sure. I think I know what happened there. I was targeting with the wrong dude. That's why I was targeting myself. That's why I didn't take damage. Paladin Kane, what's up? That is his turn. Who? Your turn. You're on board. Next up is Youngblood.
Seeing what Grimshaw done there, I'm going to target that same one.
Yep, go for it.
And Toll of the Dead to hopefully finish him off, seeing it was so successful last time.
Definitely.
Toll of the Big Bell.
Toll of the Bell. DC 13 save. Ooh, it saved. Takes no damage.
And
Does not seem to be affected as you reach out with your Toll of the spell once again. The sound of that bell ringing in your mind as you release the spell. Nothing seems to happen, unfortunately.
okay, that's it for me. I'm just going to hold here. With you.
This dude's turn next. Moves slowly into the back of Grimshaw. Grimshaw sort of turns over his shoulder, and you can see him visibly shudder as this jelly thing creeps up behind him. That is going to make a attack at Grimshaw, and it's going to hit him, doing 12 points of bludgeoning, 12 points of total damage. You've got 5 bludgeoning and some acid damage as well. Grimshaw's going to take all of that damage, and he's going to go, ooh, that burns, careful, it spits. And that is its turn. Youngblood, you're up.
Sorry, I think this is messed up.
You're good. It's your turn, bud.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm back. I was listening still. So the guy finally got killed, did he?
He did. Grimshaw killed it and ran off and was going to kill his other ones.
Oh, what move over and I'll attack the one behind you.
No problem.
Yeah,
So
I'll
you've got 10 feet of reach. So with your
Yeah,
whip,
I'll get
unless
pushed out again.
unless you're
Because
gonna,
I feel like it's more safe than not splitting them.
no worries.
My head. Shit.
And hey, if that's what Youngblood thinks, it's all good. It hits. It does 6 points of damage. And it takes it. Again, it's splattering little bits of it all over the place. Every time you guys strike them, you see bits of them falling off and sort of seeping into the ground and disappearing. Anything else that you would like to do?
I think there is
Youngblood.
much more.
That's it for you?
Bonus stuff, but I think it's only going to help me.
Probably not in this instance, no. So next up is Arcos with Grimshaw on board.
Excuse us, fellas, and I'll squeeze through those two. And I will
I
attack
think I
this
know why they
one.
weren't working because they weren't in initiative order. Yep, attack away.
Two. For a 9.
9. It's you definitely took the damage of that one. It is not looking healthy at all. I think you get sneak attack as well on this turn.
No, because I'm right next to the other one.
Oh, you are true. That's right. You got an enemy within 5 feet. No problem.
Yeah.
You do get your offhand attack, however.
Yeah.
Natural 20. Well done. As you just spin on your heel and just slash with your backhand attack. And doing 17 points of damage, which now it's working because they weren't in combat. Now it's a blood splatter on the ground. Easily enough done as you defeat this creature. It just dissipates. The moment it splits with the strike, the bits of it slap against the wall and against the floor and just slowly dissipate into the ground and wall, almost like it's just sucking away to nothing. A few sticky spots on the floor where it was. Is that your turn?
And I will just sort of move in behind this one, and I'll be like, Grimshaw, it looks like it's bubbling up your ass, mate.
It's creepy.
Hey.
So that is now Grimshaw's turn. He's going to target this one, and once again target it with his great axe with a 22 to hit, doing maximum damage once again, and killing this one. He sort of turns on his heels. Don't touch my butt. And with his second attack,
Advantage. Take advantage. It's flanked.
He will get advantage with the flanking, and he will roll 23 to hit, which does hit, doing 10 points of damage to this creature, and that will end that one's life also. As he does it sort of clang, as you can hear his blade on the concrete floor below, goes right through these creatures, turns on his heels, clang, and it echoes through the cavern. But that is the end of our combat there, as these creatures seem to now have all been defeated. You don't get any gold.
But the jellies didn't have anything in their pockets. That's
Nope.
a bit rough.
No, nothing in their pockets. Nothing falls on the ground. Just slimy bits. Add your XP, guys, as you defeat the oozes. Shot the combat music there, and that will be the end of.
Right, I'm going to target Grimshaw and use
Gonna do a healy spell.
cure wounds.
No worries, cast
Because
that.
he got an ouchie.
He did get an ouchie. It was a little bit of an ouchie. Not too much. 7 points. That's pretty good. And he's almost back to full with that. He's grateful. He sort of gives you a nod. Oh, thanks for that. It kind of burnt. And he's sort of rubbing his left butt cheek. Well, Wonderweed, I mean, I've never seen them before. Have you seen any of do you know what them's are? They were kind of smelly and bubbly and. Bleh.
Never seen them in my life, but I don't trust that they might be back. I don't know if that little bits and pieces when they went into the ground are they're actually still alive, bits and pieces of them are alive or not.
I know, right? It was kind of owie.
Would I have known,
Um,
like through the books and stuff, that I would have been in contact with
it is a
my father and stuff?
possibility. What we will do. Let's see if who roll a history check there. Who? Let's see if who studied or learnt anything about these creatures. It appears he might have. 16. It's a pretty good roll. So who, as you cast your heel on Grimshaw and he's thanking you, you sort of look around at some of the sticky remnants of these creatures, and you do remember reading a book about creatures, like sentient creatures, or not so much sentient, but like creatures of a more bacterial type nature that are made from natural elements. And you remember reading about this creature that your dad told you stories about, called a gelatinous cube. And you remember that like the cube sucked things in and corroded them and things like that. And then you remember in some of the later pages in that book and some of the stories, he talked about things called oozes and jellies. And you think this was either a type of ooze or a type of jelly. Like they're a sentient, somewhat intelligent creature. They try and consume whatever they can and grow. More likely a jelly, because you remember that the jellies were the ones that split. The oozes tended not to split, but to corrode stuff. But you do remember what they are. Well, remember reading about it.
From that memory of the books, I'll let the guys know, that they would have consumed us and got bigger if we didn't get them down. But they're a pretty easy kill.
Yeah, not hard to hit, very slow moving. But if you do manage to take too much damage from them, they can sometimes they like slide over your body and consume you and just grow.
Dissolve you inside them.
So I was trying to dissolve your bottom, mate.
Is it still there? I can't really tell. It's still furry.
Yeah, there's a little patch there, but I think maybe who's healing what's-a-majig's sort of starting to grow back. I mean, I don't want to look too close. I mean it's
my loincloths cover most of it, but I got pants on, but it still fucking hurt.
Are they pants?
Kinda.
I thought they were your legs.
Like hot pants, like short shorts.
Fucking Grimshaw ready for a day at the beach and his fucking smugglers.
He's wearing his budgie smugglers. It's all good.
Yeah.
So Youngblood look over to Who and go, so do you think they're actually dead? Just seeing bits and pieces fly and suck back into the walls.
Yeah, once you get them down from those smaller ones, that's it.
Yeah, I mean, with a 16 year, you're pretty certain they're dead. You wouldn't know, you wouldn't get much more information than that. I mean, if you'd rolled a natural 20, I would have given you a bit more, but yeah, you're pretty sure they're dead.
Obliterated.
Yeah.
Where next, boys?
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
I mean, looking up there, it doesn't look too good, but I mean, we could check it out and have a closer look. Or we could head down.
Up or down?
Well,
maybe
what's that
down is going backwards, isn't it? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's the kind of almost like the way we came. Well, not really, because we came through that crawl space, so there's going to be a lot of places to explore.
Yeah.
Is that a doorway there? It looks like.
Is it a door?
It does look like a door. It should be a door. I don't think I've got it.
I was going to say, to me, it looks like a wall, but
It looks like a wall, but it should be a door.
it's a door. Hey, look, fellas, I found a door.
Look,
Shall we go through the door?
a door just appeared out of nowhere. Hang on a minute.
Maybe a
I've
door
got
might be
several places that I didn't change the doors just looking at this.
Oh no.
It's all right.
Oh,
I
no.
can fix it on the fly. It's all good. I fixed it.
Mine's as if you'd you get lost down here and like
Fix it.
starve to death.
Fix it on the fly. Poor fly.
Yeah, I'm going to fix the fly with his doors. Make sure my doors are all doors. Give me 1 second.
The doors, yeah, not bad. Music.
Sounds like someone's put the jug on.
There's a bit
Yep.
of whistling going on.
Ain't just whistling Dixie.
Right, I think I've done the ones that you'll get to in this session. Right, yeah, so there is a door there. That was my bad, sorry. So as you sort of turn and like you look there and it's a solid door too. Like it's not wooden. It is a stone, carved out of stone by the looks of it. A thin piece of slab stone. It's very well made. Like, and I'd say all of you except for maybe Grimshaw and even Youngblood probably. So Arcos and Who, I would say would have been travelled enough or would know enough, and especially with Who with your studies and Arcos with your travelling, and maybe even Grimshaw too to a certain degree. Dwarven architecture, definitely. I mean, it's definitely been made. This whole place reeks of dwarvish tinkering and the way it's been built, the way the pillars stand and hold the roof up. It's all definitely dwarvish, and this door just confirms it with the way that it's been built, carved out of stone. Looks like it's got dwarvish style runes down one side. Again, just anything specific. It's not like a dwarvish language. It's just that dwarvish styling, just like you get elvish styling on certain elvish buildings. Very similar in that respect. I will get you all to roll a perception check for me, however. Not the jellies. I don't know why I did that. But I'll roll for the jellies even though they're dead. See what they get. Oh, someone got a natural 20. A jelly got a natural 20. Jellies don't count. Who with his has amazing hearing. So in this room, or not in this room exactly, but outside this room, you definitely hear it. You can hear almost like shuffling. It's weird. Like, and then you hear what only can be described as the sound of gnawing, like something gnawing on bone, perhaps, or it's an odd sound. It's almost like you'd hear like an animal gnawing on flesh and bone, almost.
Sounds like someone's in that room or something having a feed on something.
It's a creepy freaking sound.
I don't hear anything.
Yeah, I think my ears are blocked. I can't hear shit.
I just find it
It's
fascinating.
all those bloody potatoes, mate. That's what it is.
Yeah,
I
mate.
just find it fascinating that dwarves and elves and people like that, folks like that, they draw all over the walls and shit. When I was a kid, I was told off when I drew on the walls, but here they are, left, right, and centre,
Yeah, you
scribbling.
did get a smack for graffiti, eh?
I know, it's bloody atrocious. I mean, what does this even mean? Like, does it say door, just in case you're not sure what it is? You
Doesn't
read
really
this.
say. Doesn't really say much.
What's up, Travis Neon?
It's just decoration.
And yeah, you'd know that it doesn't say anything at all. It's simply just a dwarvish decoration.
Dwarvish gibberish.
Yeah,
But yeah, the rest of you, like, Who, you definitely pick it up. The others probably not so much. That you can. Now that you stop and listen, however, all of you can now hear that almost like the shuffling of footsteps. It's very faint, but it's like someone shuffling down a hallway very, very slowly and carefully. And then you hear that just ever so slightly, right on the edge of hearing, over just under the sound of the waves. You can hear that sound of almost, again, like teeth on bone, almost. It's kind of weird. Like, it's not loud, so it's creepy as hell, but it's at the same time it's very faint and almost impossible to hear.
So are we checking out what's on the other side of the door, or we just?
Well, we got to find little dwarf, don't we? The other one, and the people responsible for killing Gundren's brother, and get the revenge for him.
Revenge. I mean, if he's on that side of the door, it sounds like either he's really hungry or he's getting that.
Well, they did say there was all manner of things down here, so it could be anything, really.
Yeah.
I suppose we should check, see if it's him getting eaten or not. You never know. He could have gotten stuck in some trouble with that creature.
I mean, are we all good for another battle if it's something else? I'm good. I mean, thanks to Who and his magic touch.
You were the only one who got hit, mate.
It healed my ass nice. I mean, a little bit of a fur missing, but it feels much better.
I'm sure it's still got a crack in it, though.
I hope so. It'd be terrible if it had no crack left. I mean, you wouldn't be able to shit if you don't shit, you die, right?
That's true.
You just feel like you'd fill up and explode. It's just no.
It's not the eating that keeps you alive. It's the pooping. And on that note, we should probably, Youngblood, you're near the door. Check what's in there.
So, Youngblood, do you check the door?
Yeah, I'll check the door.
It is unlocked, so if you wish to open it, you can. Don't go in there just yet. Just open the door.
He runs inside.
the moment you open the door, obviously the first thing you see is this creature here, and the moment the light from the light spell on Arcos spills into the room, this creature looks up. It's hunched over on its, almost on, not on all fours, but it's crouched over itself, and you can see in its hand it's got what you could only describe as a leg bone. It's still got the foot attached, and it's all like not so much meaty anymore. It looks, obviously these guys have been here for a long time gnawing on this stuff, but it sort of turns and looks at you as the door swings open and the light protrudes in. Oh, turns the wrong way. Turns that way, and sort of turns and looks at you. This one here does the same. As the light spills in the room, you see another one sitting here. And they both sort of growl with this in the hand. I'll show you and the chat what you actually see. Where is it? No, I don't want to create a handout. I want to show the players. Let me show the players. God damn it. Here we go.
You have been denied.
Oh my god.
That is essentially what you see. And in that, like, think that's more bony than fleshy, however. But that is what you see looking up at you as you swing the door open. And that's where we're going to call tonight's session, because we're pretty much bang on 10:30. So I think we're going to call it there. A couple of hours, it's a good place to call it, because you're definitely going to get into another battle here. Unless you guys want to go for another half hour or so, it's up to you. I mean, I'm good. If you guys want to carry on,
to go.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, well, we will keep going then.
Yeah.
So you swing that open. That's what you see. I'll give you a chance to let your companions know exactly what you see. But I'll give you a quick description here. Old stone bunks is what you see surrounding this room. The smells old, like old death, as you swing the door open. The bones of, looks like half a dozen dwarves are scattered around the room. hunched over some of these bones, squatted among the remains, pouring through scraps and gnawing on the bones are these ghoulish creatures that you've seen as the light spills into this room. How do you react, Youngblood?
I'll slam the door shut again.
As you do so, you slam the door shut, and then within seconds you hear bang, bang, bang on the door as fists are being pounded on the other side. And you all can hear this.
So, not keen, mate. I guess it wasn't a dwarf then.
There's fucking blue-looking fucking zombies. Fucking bony little fucks eating a foot. Kind of scared me. And they still stared at me like I was food.
That's the feet smell. Look, we worked it out.
Hey, we did.
And the pounding on the door continues as you guys are having this discussion, and now it's just, you can hear it now, it's more than one. Started off just with like single fist, bang, 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 now it's multiple. And you can hear the growling of these creatures from behind the door, and they're pounding on it hard. Bits of gravel and dirt and dust are falling from around the door frame where you are, Youngblood. You can clearly see this. You can all hear it. Youngblood, you hear the door crack behind you. As you turn, you see a small crack forming in this thin concrete slab as the pounding continues on the door.
Fuck, we don't have much. This door's about to collapse. I just wanted to shut it, try to make a plan, but I
Like,
didn't realise I was so strong.
Kevin, did you say zombie?
Look like one.
Who? Remember the thing we did with the zombies in Thunder Tree, mate?
I was going to say, why don't I stand in the door while you open it and I put a blast in them?
And yeah.
do it. That's why I closed the door. I wanted a quick plan. I knew you fucking bugged someone for a quick plan. Let's do it.
I have
Blast
to
them
move
with
up.
your owl biz.
Right, so what we're going
You
to
ready?
do is, before we do...
Holy
Oh,
right.
shit. That was lucky.
It's all gone back.
You should be back.
Yep.
You might have to refresh if you're not, but I deleted the wrong one.
Come back.
You're back? Cool. Control Z for the win. So first things first, I'll get you all to roll initiative to begin with, and then we'll utilize your plan first, because you've slammed the door shut and you've made a plan.
What happened then?
No, you good?
Good.
Battle. Get the battle going. Looks like we're all good. Yep, initiative's all been rolled. Just got to roll Grimshaws. And we'll pop this out for the chat so they can see the initiative order. So, as you prepare yourselves, getting ready to battle these things, you again, the door's starting to fracture and crack as the multiple sounds of these creatures, several of these creatures are now pounding on the door. You're not sure how many at this stage. You just know there's a few. What is your plan?
Okay, I'm gonna launch guiding bolt through the door when Youngblood opens it,
Okay.
like we did in the forest with
No
that other
worries.
one
So
when I work with Grim.
We'll
with
resolve
Arcos.
your guiding bolt, and then we'll go into initiative. So I'll open the door, and you can target the first thing you see, and use guiding bolt. So as you open the door, there's definitely more than just one. There's several of them there. So they're all pounding on the door as you swing the door back in as it opens towards you. You swing it back, and the creatures sort of almost stand forward to fall forward a little bit as they're leaning hard against the door. You target that and fire. I'll begin the combat. It's all good. It hits the ghoul. Nice. Doing 11 points of damage. This creature takes the damage, and it's pretty substantial damage too. You can see it burns the flesh off this rotting corpse before you. The corpse blackens and bubbles as your guiding bolt strikes it in the torso. With that done, Arcos, you're the top of the order. As you can see several of these creatures in this room.
Oh, shit, these fuckers are tougher than the last. And Arcos bolts. He puts one foot on one wall, bounces from one side to the other, straight into the middle of the room.
We'll get an athletics check too, eh?
Yeah.
Let's I can do that for you here. Let's see how cool this looks.
Cheers, mate.
Athletics, ability, athletics. I know acrobatics make it, because that's your thing.
Yes. Hopefully it is my thing. No, it's not my thing.
I mean, you do it, but it's not very graceful. Not as
Probably
graceful as
slime
you,
on the wall.
Yeah, you sort of hit the patch of one of the ochre jellies, and it's kind of sticky and slimy all at the same time. So your foot slips and then catches, enabling you to perform the maneuver, but it looks terrible. It's not your best work.
It's just terrible.
You're
I'll
right,
target
bugs.
the-
Made in there, but you're right.
And you target this first creature as you land and attack.
There's my HUD. Alright, I'm all stabby.
Stabby stab. Ooh, it hits still. Lucky. Doing 10 points of damage. Nice. It's not looking healthy. It's you lop off an arm with that attack as you sort of come down, strike it down, and it just lops off its left arm. No, you can't get sneak attack, unfortunately.
Nah.
But
Too
you do
many.
have an offhand attack. However.
Yep, and I'm gonna attack the one next to it because I'm well aware of my own skills.
No worries.
And I'm not gonna.
And you're well aware of your own skill, which is not very good at this point, and you miss. You misjudge
Son
the
of
distance,
bitch.
and you strike the bone that this creature's holding, an arm bone. You can see the bones from the hand with a little bit of skin hanging off them, and it almost parries it with his food. And that is your turn, I believe.
Yep. And Arcos is just gonna walk it back.
Fuck, I hate the fact you can do that anytime you like.
Everyone loves a rogue, mate.
Yeah. Is it because that's just part of your?
Let me read, because I can't remember if I have to actually hit. So the one that I missed might actually be able to hit me.
Yeah, I think I can't remember exactly what
Give
it
me a
is.
sec.
Yeah,
It
if you
might
could
be-
clarify that for me, that would be good.
I shall. I'll still move away, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think one of them may get an opportunity attack. The one that you didn't hit.
Features.
We'll clarify that for the chat as well.
Erection. Fancy footwork. Yeah, see, it says during your turn, if you make a melee attack against a creature, that creature can't make an opportunity
that
attack
creature.
against you.
But this one can. So this one will,
Well,
as
that's
you
to
run
see.
away.
It doesn't say hit, but I'll leave it up to you
I
because it
think-
just says if you make a melee
As
attack.
long as you make the attack against the creature, that creature can't. So with hit or miss, I'd say hit or miss should be fine. It doesn't
That is
specifically.
That is way strong.
I mean, it doesn't specifically say hit. So if it doesn't say it, I think we'll rule it as rule of thumb. If it doesn't say it, then as long as you make the attack, then it can't strike you. So you're good. With that,
That's my turn.
That's your turn, and that means it's now this one's turn. Who, as you attacked it, it's just going to surge forward into the pile of people because that's what it does. It doesn't know any better. And the first person it will get to in that straight line will be Who. Who. So, Who, you are going to take a bite attack, I believe, from this creature.
Nom, 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 nom.
It's going to try and... it's hungry, okay? Like, you guys walked in here and interrupted its feeding. It's hungry. So it's going to attempt to bite you. missing you, luckily for you, so it does not do any damage. You managed to fend off the bite. I'm in raid. What's up? Welcome in, raiders. You managed to fend off the attack from this this ghoulish creature as it's hungrily trying to bite at your neck and face and shoulder, and you just managed to move out of the way. Next up is this one who comes tearing into the doorway, targeting you, Mr. Youngblood. Once again, hungrily biting out at you. This one does hit you and does 8 points of piercing damage as it bites down on your arm as you go to defend yourself. Next one, they're just piling into the door behind each other. He can reach you, Youngblood, just so this one is going to can't reach you to bite you, so it's going to try and claw at you. Also hitting you, dealing 10 points of slashing damage, but you will also need to make a con save for me. So if you just click on your token just once and highlight it, and then in the chat you'll see saving throw DC 10 on the spell. So highlight your token and then just click that button on the chat. I think you should be able to see it. If you can't, let me know and I will here we go. Say Constitution saving throw of 12, you passed. So you do take the damage, which I will take off you, which is 10 slashing damage from the claws, but you manage to fight off. You get a sensation as the claws rip into your arm, and you feel this sensation like your arm almost stops, like you can't move it for a second. Your hand locks up, your wrist locks up, and then it dissipates, and you go, "Oh, that was weird," and you sort of give your hand a bit of a flex just to make sure it's all still good. And now it's your turn.
I yell out to the boys, be careful, they claw you. It feels like they try to paralyze you or something. You try to warn the guys about what's happened, Jimmy. And they get the long sword out and attack him right next to me.
So target him and attack him. Indeed, we'll zoom in there so that people can see it on chat. And I believe you hit definitely with a 19, doing 5 points of slashing damage with your longsword, severing, not so much severing it, you cut into its flesh. Oh, we closed the door accidentally. We'll leave that open. You cut into its flesh and easily cut down to bone. I'm going to remove this doorway so no one accidentally closes it. Makes it a whole lot easier. The door's probably busted now anyway. Is that your turn, Youngblood?
And I use second wind as a bonus action to try to get some health and stuff back.
Second wind, okay. So target yourself with that, and you should be able to roll it from your character sheet, I believe. There you go. 2 points, or 6 points of healing. Look at that. And you're feeling much better. Much better.
And I'll stay there so they get attacked.
No worries. So that is your turn. Next up, another ghoul comes rushing in to join the pile at the door. Can't really do much from where it is. And another comes rushing in as whatever, like all of these in this room just surge forward, trying to get food as they're like absolutely starving. Grimshaw now he's sort of looking around the corner. He goes, back out the doorway, guys. You're going to get all bunched up in here and you're going to get killed. Let's either push him into the room or back up. He does move forward into the gap to attack this one. He is also going to rage as he just bellows as he charges forward. He is now raging as he attacks this creature. And he will strike with his great axe. Natural 20, perfect. Natural 20 on the strike, doing a huge amount of damage to this creature. Like literally cutting it in half as he surges forward. Still got a bit of movement, moves right in past Yuhu. Targets the next one with his second attack. Not targeting himself, you doofus. Targeting. Let's get in here and target this one. Swings with a second attack. Not as good, but still hits. Doing not as much damage, but still managing to open a large wound on this thing's chest. And as a bonus action, he is going to shove forward on this creature. So he's going to try and push this creature away. We're going to go... Stop targeting him. Stop targeting him, god damn it. Him and him are going to make a contested roll. Strength. He gets advantage because he's raging. He wins, shoving this creature backward as hard as he can with his bonus action. And I would say this guy is going to make a quick strength check as well, being right there. And also low. So both these creatures get shoved backwards 10 feet as Grimshaw just charges and hits with his shoulder, sending them both backwards. That is his turn. Who it is now your turn. He'll actually... He's not going to step back. He's going to step into the room out of your way, so that you can.
This one here,
see.
I've just targeted. I'm going to nail with Toll of the Dead.
No worries. Target your target and toll away. Makes a wisdom save. Fails. So it takes 5 points. No, that one takes 4 points. He's not taking damage. He still takes 4 points of necrotic damage. It doesn't seem to do as much as the radiant damage, but it definitely hurts. Necrotic doesn't seem to hurt these guys as much.
I have a bonus action as well. With my bonus action, which I should be able to use, is that correct? Which I'm going to use Shield of Faith for Youngblood.
Yep, your Toll of the Dead is an action, and it's a cantrip, and your Shield of Faith...
on bonus action, one creature.
Where is your Shield of Faith? Oh, that's a cantrip. Oh, that's the first level. Oh, yeah, bonus action.
First level.
You can, and I can add that to him. You don't need cast it. Just target him and cast it.
Yep, done.
And just click the once, and I will add it to him. Because I believe we have Shield of Faith. There we go. So, Youngblood, your AC is now 18. So Shield of Faith gives you, I believe, adds +2 AC for 10 minutes. So you're a little bit harder to hit. And is that your turn?
I'll give you that. Yeah, I'll give that to you, buddy, because Grim's already raging in there. He's smashing shit, so give you a bit more... give him a bit more juice, mate. Bit more juice.
And that's your turn. You're not going to move?
Yep, that's it. I'm staying where I am.
Right, so another ghoul's turn. This one, sort of seeing the dude come in, moves towards Grimshaw. And is going to try and bite him because he's freaking hungry. Manages to do so. However, I believe it'll only be 5 points of damage on Grimshaw because he is raging. So Grimshaw takes it, but doesn't even seem phased by it. Chomps down on his arm And Grimshaw just growls back at him, nostrils flaring. Back to the top of the initiative order with Arcos. We're back to you.
So he will dash back into the bloody spot that his mate Grimshaw has left. We'll target this fella.
Target away. 19, definite. That's a definite hit with a 26. Dealing 7 points of slashing damage on your targeted creature. You do get sneak attack, as you have an ally within 5 feet.
Hey, let's pop that in then.
Further 6 points of slashing damage. It is still up. It's not looking good though. You've opened up a really deep wound on its torso.
And then with the offhand, I'll try and get it into that wound and
No
cut it through.
worries. Offhand attack.
Nope.
Missing. You can't seem to get it in there. Again,
Too much goop.
you spin with that offhand attack and you're not entirely sure why, but the Gulda seems to sort of pivot almost. And you jab forward and miss. Is that your turn?
I will move away again.
No
Because I'm
worries.
a prick like that.
As you've hit it, it cannot get the opportunity to attack. Next up, this ghoul. Youngblood's right there, so that's his target. He's going to try and eat you because that's what he wants to do. Rolls a natural 1. You, with this new Shield of Faith, as it strikes, it just strikes your shield around your body, sparks an arcane or divine energy, and does not find purchase. It is its turn. Next ghoul's turn. This one got shoved back. It's kind of pissed off. Sort of turns to see what's happening and rolls right into Grimshaw and goes for that bite attack once again. Missing Grimshaw. Cannot find purchase. Grimshaw is just moving and parrying with his axe. Now got 2 of these creatures on him. Next up, Youngblood, it is your turn.
I will get my longsword out and attack the one right in front of me.
Go for it.
Going for that wound.
Trying to finish him off.
Yeah.
Rolls your long sword. You hit with a 15, doing 5 points of damage. This is enough to hit that wound, smash a couple of ribs in the process, and it drops to the ground in a heap, no longer moving. You sort of hack down with the sword into that wound, pull it out as you do so, and you're standing ready. The doorway is now clear.
I will walk in, go to the corner, and end with that.
No worries. It is your turn. Next up, another one of these creatures' turns. This one's gonna these guys are gonna start piling in on Grimshaw as they're the ones that last attacked, and that's all they sort of see at that point. Once again, this one's going to go for a claw attack at Grimshaw. Missing, however. Again, in his rage, Grimshaw is just in a blur of movement and is able to fend off these attackers. This one, however, is going to roll right into you. Youngblood, as you're the closest one to it, and it's going to try and claw at you as well. Missing you with your newfound armor. Strikes nothing but that divine armor once again. Grimshaw's turn. Raging Grimshaw turns and faces the first of these creatures, raises his axe and strikes. First strike. Missing, however. Second one does find purchase with a 21. With a backhand strike doing 17 points of damage. Again, crushing the skull of this second creature as he's raging, like he's just growling and raging as he's moving forward. Just give me one second, I'll check something here. Oh, he's actually got a... I didn't even realize this feature. His because of his barbarian, his ancestral guardian, he actually gets spectral warriors until the start of your next turn. This target is disadvantaged on attack rolls against you. Okay, so I'll remember that for next one. As one thing you guys will see as Grimshaw raged, I didn't point it out, is spectral warriors, 2 or 3 of them, appear around him and sort of start swirling around this particular ghoul here, which is now the target of his attack. And just it doesn't seem too worried about it, but it seems a little distracted. Why is that targeting? I want you to target that one. Thank you. He moves around, sort of scoots around it and targets it. And he can't do anything because he's used both his attacks, but he's sort of moving into that position. That is his turn. It is now your turn.
Okay, this one here, because Grimshaw's getting a beaten over there in that corner, I'm going to use a Blood Bolt.
No
So
worries.
can you do the 1 necrotic damage from me when I use Blood Bolt on that one,
I
please?
can do that. Take 1 point of necrotic damage. You hit the ghoul with Blood Bolt, dealing 4 points of... And it does have blood, but it's very thick and coagulated blood. So what you see is a wound open on this fetid body, and this black grey stuff be drawn out of the wound, and it sort of draws out and then goes into it like an ash as it's removed from the body, and it is enough to kill it as you draw what life was remaining from this creature, or unlife, shall we say.
Okay, and yeah, that'll be me.
That'll be you. Next up, that would have been that ghoul's turn, but he's dead. Back to your turn, Arcos.
So I run past Feathers and tap him on the back. I said, "Way to go, Feathers!" And I charge in this fella here.
The last looks like oh no, there's 2 more
Yeah,
left.
there's one down here.
Yep, forgot I couldn't see him before, but
Yeah. All right.
so you target him. You jam the short sword forward, striking true, dealing 6 points of slashing damage, removing the hand with a single movement of this ghoul.
Yeah. And as it looks at its hand, I'll sneak attack.
Indeed, as it looks down, it sort of goes, as his hand drops to the floor, you jab it up under the ribs with that sneak attack. Your offhand attack, if you wish to do so.
Yeah. Ah, what is with 3s? I've had 3s in a row.
Unfortunately, your offhand attack, you're not so good with your offhand tonight, as you,
No.
so again, it moves in such a way and manages to avoid the incoming blade.
I'm better with my offhand than that bloke is.
You're still thinking about that slip on the wall there?
And is that your turn, Arcos?
Are
Are you going to stay or are you going to move?
I'm going to sort of
You're going to flash the screen?
target myself. I know. I'm going to move over to Grimshaw and be on the other side of this fella.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can see as you move through, he's grinning from ear to ear. Even he's in full rage. His eyes are bloodshot and bulging. His muscle, he seems bigger than usual, but he's grinning from ear to ear.
Extra beef.
And again, these spectral warriors, you can see them sort of moving in and out sort of looking for their next target. Youngblood, it is your turn. Striking forward with your long sword, you hit, finding that open wound once again, and removing the head with just a backhand swing. The head lifts, hits the floor with a thud and rolls, and the body just slumps forward. You have one more opponent left in this room. You've got movement, you've got a bonus action, if you wish. You're muted, JJ.
I'll move forward and help these guys so it's flanking and stuff like that.
You'd have to get on the other side of him. You've got enough movement to get there. You'd have to come right round to here.
Okay.
Or here. But you've definitely got enough movement to get around to provide that for someone. Next up is the ghoul's turn. It is going to focus on Grimshaw, as you do, and it is going to attack him with a claw attack. Missing. And then that's pretty much its turn. Next up is Grimshaw, who just grins and turns, targets the creature, and just sort of gives you a happy grin, Youngblood, and you definitely see it, Arcos, as you're right there. And he rolls with flanking, rolls with advantage. Still hits even with a 15, rolling maximum damage as he brings his great axe up above his head and slams it down on this creature. Not enough to kill it, but he does have a second attack, which was supposed to roll advantage, but it doesn't matter. Getting maximum damage once again. 2 large swings, one down into the shoulder and the clavicle. You hear the bone smash and crack. The next one, he sort of brings it back, one-handed, and just straight across the midsection of this creature, splitting it in 2. Would have sprayed you, Youngblood, in blood if it wasn't for the fact that they didn't really have any, because it's old and decrepit and dry. You get splattered with a bit of old fetid flesh as the creature is cleft in 2, and he just raises his axe and, that feels great, and slams his axe down onto the ground, causing it to echo through this cabin. And that will bring our combat to a close.
Oh, damn sure. I thought I was scary, mate. You put me to shame. Good job, mate.
And he's still bulging and raging. He's just sort of breathing heavy, and he starts to calm himself, and eventually his rage does subside, as does your Shield of Faith. How long does the Shield of Faith last for? Like 10 minutes?
Yeah, it's a big about that. Hang on.
So it'll eventually subside, but it does bring our combat to a close. And I'll stop the battle music. And let's say you guys got your XP. Make sure you add your XP.
10 minutes, mate. 10 minutes.
Yes, so who, just make sure you add your XP in the chat there.
Yep, done, mate.
Awesome. And you stand there sort of looking around at what's left of these corpses, and as I said, in this room it looks like it would have been once upon a time an old barracks. And as you now look around, you can see that these corpses of dwarves scattered around the room, the stone carved bunks with the bedding mostly rotted away and long, like this has been here a long time. And as you look at the corpses of these ghoulish creatures, you can see that the stuff that they were feeding on was nothing more than old dried flesh and bone. Like, they'd been here for a long time. They were literally starved, almost to the point of death themselves. They didn't have a lot of strength, but the thought of fresh meal obviously bolstered their resolve and sent them into a bit of a frenzy. But you were able to deal with them quickly and easily. without taking too much damage, it seems. Grimshaw took a little bit. It looks like Youngblood took a little... Youngblood's looking a little hurt. Nothing too major.
A little bit there, yeah.
But Grimshaw's, again, as he's sort of calming himself down. Now that's what I call a fight.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It doesn't look like they've eaten any, like, fresh dwarf, so we're probably pretty safe on the Nundro front.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah, these things look like they've been here for a long time.
Yeah. We probably put them out of their misery, to be honest. Trapped in here.
I know,
eating
right?
Old dwarf bits.
Wow.
We're heroes.
Public service. Yeah.
Well, of course we're heroes. I mean, we're getting paid for it too, though. So we're kind of... No, we're heroes, that's right.
Yep.
Well, that was fun. I enjoyed that. Ugh. Ow. Well, that hurts a little bit now. And he's got a small sort of claw mark across his sort of upper chest and arm, bite mark, and it's like, well, it's not too bad though. It still works.
Yeah, I'm not too bad. I got a bit of a claw mark and a bit of some bites, but not too bad myself.
Yeah.
I'm still good to go.
Yeah, I'm good. You're
You're right there,
me
Who?
didn't take any hit too.
Yeah, I'm right.
You guys look all right. You did
right.
good.
He tried to get me, but he missed.
It's good. Good fight. Good fight, fellas.
Yep. There'll be more of that because I imagine everybody in the place heard you bloody carrying on like a pork chop, Mr. Shaw.
What? That's how I...
Was that yelling at the end?
Well, didn't you... Well, look, that's the result. And he sort of points down at what the remains of the last one he killed, which is just like...
Yeah, kind of slammed your axe down, echoed the whole place, so people know we're here.
Well, I mean, they probably know we're coming anyway, right?
This is true.
Right then, well... Carry on, which way? Next?
I mean, there appears to be another door down the bottom.
I'm not checking this time.
Did you get a bit of a fright? Did you get a bit of a fright there, young one? Like you seemed like you went a little bit pale. Like you went more like lime green instead of like the darker green that you normally is when you saw that creature.
Deal with zombies and shit.
I don't think these things don't look like zombies though. They don't look like the same things we fought at Phandelver.
Maybe not zombies.
Yeah, didn't fall apart like those other ones when Who did these white magic stuff.
No.
No, that one took a hiding.
And Who you would know, being a cleric, you'd know what you know a lot about the undead. Undead was your father's specialty and was yours. You've read a lot of books about the undead. You know that obviously the creatures you've thought at Thunder Tree were zombies, a version of a zombie. These things are not zombies. They're called ghouls, and they live off the fetid flesh of the dead. They don't normally eat live flesh as a rule, but obviously they were near starving. Definitely not the same as zombies. A little bit more hearty than a zombie. But they stink just as bad.
So, yeah, they were ghouls, guys. They're nasty pieces of work.
But, yeah, so that... I think what we'll do, we will call it there, guys. We're just after 11 o'clock. And we've had a good couple of battles. We'll pick it up there next week. No trash, no one died. I mean, there are a buttload of dwarves long time ago, definitely. But no one in the party died yet, guys. Yet.
We try really hard to get killed. Last session, this session, we do.
Yeah, they try. They do try a lot.
We do try. Yeah, we do try.
I mean, trash. You could always come back as Zankus, and we can kill him. I mean, we could definitely kill him. I mean, he might actually turn up here in this place somewhere and be dead anyway. Yet I don't know.
I know a dragon who'd like to meet him.
Definitely. Well, that dream was pretty out there. But thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. I really do appreciate it. Armin, thank you for the raid, dude. good to see you, buddy. And Rad, good to see you in as well. Rip Artist, thank you for coming in and joining us. So my name's Evildoer. I'm from New Zealand. I am a stay-at-home dad and DM and gamer. These guys are my players for this campaign. I also run a home game on Sundays off stream for a few people as well, which is a homebrew campaign. We were streaming it, but I've decided to keep that one private as a homebrew thing. But just before we take off and do anything else, we're going to do a usual thing we do with these guys. We've got some content creators here, obviously not only myself, but we'll get Grim to introduce himself, and obviously he's playing Arcos Puck, our Hirangon rogue. But Grim, if you want to just tell people who you are and what and if you are going to stream again. Obviously, you can probably talk about podcasts and stuff with JJ too, because that's pretty much what you guys are up to at the moment.
Yep. So I am Grim Realities, and as Evil said, I might stream again. I did enjoy it, so mostly, I only did point and clicking adventure games from the 90s. Interested in a lot of board game stuff, and obviously very passionate about D&D, which is why it's good to be here with my friends and our DM Evildoer. But I also very passionate about the wrestling, which I'm fortunate enough to share that passion with Mr. JJ, and he'll tell you more about his channel. But when things get back up and running, I'll be over there too, so I'll let him talk a bit more about that. And that's me pretty much.
Thank you, Mr. Grimm. Yes, and next in line we got there Mr. Era Code, playing Who, What, How, Where, the Owlin cleric in tonight's game.
I didn't do it, and not Doctor Who.
And not Doctor Who. He's not a doctor.
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. Variety content creator over on YouTube's. We were doing some stuff on Twitch, but we made the move. It's been a bit on the light side lately, but we will be coming back to live streaming soon, probably after this campaign ends, so that we can get something sort of set in cement. But yeah, I'll do one every now and then to keep up with things. So hopefully see you guys over there.
Yeah, so make sure you guys go check out Era's YouTube. Hit him up with a sub over there. Costs you nothing, easy as. Like I said, he does some music stuff as well, which he'll post on occasion, and we do some Fortnite and stuff over there with Era as well. But as he said, once he's finished this campaign, his schedule will be back a little bit more consistent, so make sure you go hit him up over there. And lastly, but not leastly, Mr. JJ Aussie Punk, playing the Furbolg fighter by the name of Youngblood. So JJ, you want to let people know where they can find you? I'll post your link as well.
You can find me on YouTube. I was on Twitch, but I made the switch as well.
So you can find JJ there at ABW Wrestling on the YouTube.
My net is shut the bed, so I can't really stream at the moment. But when I was starting to do podcasts with Grim, as he said, he joins me over on the YouTube. So I was doing wrestling podcasts, wrestling tier lists. Do have a wrestling E-Fed that I'm hoping to bring back. Probably going to wait until the new game comes out in March. It got announced this week.
Awesome.
The 2K23 is coming out soon, so I don't see the point of bringing back the E-Fed in 2K22 when in March a new game's coming out.
Yeah, for sure.
Reset everything anyway.
Definitely.
But E-Fed is coming back soon too. There's some really fun stuff with Grim as well, like maybe with predictions for pay-per-views. It's all the good wrestling stuff, really.
Awesome.
Catch me over there when I'm back.
Awesome, guys. So that's my players and where you can find them. Definitely catch up with JJ when you see him. Hit him up again. It's over on the ABW Wrestling over on YouTube. Hit him up with a sub. When he gets his technical issues sorted, you'll definitely see him back there. I'm also part of his E-Fed, and I'll definitely be rejoining that when he starts that. It's a lot of fun. We role play in the Discord, very similar to D&D. We basically role play as wrestlers, and on 2K23 when it releases, we'll be getting back into that. So, one more message for me before I go. I am calling for players for my next campaign. So when we finish Lost Mines, we're going to take a bit of a break while I prep for Waterdeep Dragon Heist, moving into Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I'm looking for 4 to 6 players. There is a poll in my Discord. If you are potentially interested in playing, vote on the poll. Just click A on the poll, react to it, and it'll put your vote in, let me know that you're interested. If we get more than 6 people interested, I'll put people's name into a roll table, and we'll pull out 6 names out of a hat, and we will organise those players. Looking at running it on a Friday night at this stage, every second Friday night, so it'll be twice a month. Level 1 to 20. Once I've got the players that are interested, obviously I'll let you know. I'll give you a link for the campaign on D&D Beyond where you can create your character. I'll give you the restrictions, if any. Whether homebrew is okay. Generally, I'm good with homebrew within reason, and we'll let you know. We'll go over homebrew rules, my table rules that I generally run with. There's a few that I keep in all my games, and we like to discuss them with the players as well. Players have any ideas on rules, we do that also. So definitely vote in the Discord. ! Discord, if you're not a part of the Discord, come and join us. We've got a lot of D&D players and DMs in the Discord. We talk D&D, we talk games. Speaking of games, tomorrow night, PUBG Customs. If you're interested in PUBG and you want to come play some custom games with us, we're going to do some custom PUBG tomorrow night. About 8:30 New Zealand Standard Time, which is, for those of you in the US, is 6:30 PM. For those of you who are halfway across the world, like Neon, it's like 7:30 in the morning. But definitely, if you can make it, come and hang out with us playing some PUBG Customs. It should be a bit of fun. You can come shoot your friends in the face, which is always a good thing to do. But now it's raid time. Who are we going to raid, people? We got raided, so we'll pass it on. We raided GM Workshop last week. We can probably raid Lost Archives this week. We normally raid them. We normally raid a D&D channel. Let's see who else is on though. Let's have a look at the Dungeons and Dragons page, see who else is there. We've got Lost Archives, we got Dwarf Down Under. How many viewers? They got 7 viewers. How long are they? Well, let's see if we rate someone new. Session 12 of Chronicles of Auriga, by the looks of that. No cams, but they've got a few viewers. Looks like it might be interesting. I think we'll raid them. You're also making the PUBG work tomorrow. That's good. Let's definitely, if you can, make the PUBG work. Again, if you can make it, you can make it. If you can't, you can't. It's not a big deal. I'm not too concerned. I mean, if we don't get the numbers, we can just run squads in a regular game. So where did I find these guys? Here we go. Let's grab. I'm too lazy to type, so I'm going to copy and paste. So it looks like a pretty interesting game.
Waves that moved unnaturally. Based on.
Does that look like it's in
of elementals?
Will Danville, maybe?
Water elementals.
Looks like it might be.
It's a very flashy looking layout. Yeah.
It looks very much like Will Danville to me. That's kind of cool. And they're using Michael Gelfie music. Michael Gelfie does some really good audio for fantasy, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, guys, so we're gonna raid these guys here. Thanks, Amin. Good to see you too, my friend. As I say, we're going to be back tomorrow night with some PUBG. Friday night will be a maybe. I will be doing some WoW with friends Friday night if everyone turns up for it, if everyone's available. Then Saturday might be a WoW raid with my guild doing Alderwa, doing next in-game content, and then obviously I'll be back Monday for some maps. But yeah, definitely come back, see us tomorrow night. Join the Discord if you can. Hang out with us there. We'd love to have you in there. I'm around Discord all the time. If you have any DM questions, map questions, player questions, ask away. Someone will answer it. Someone will have an idea. But that is us. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.